Report to the cloud. Report to the cloud. Indicators. What's an indicator? What's an indicator? Not you. Huh? Yeah, by its color change, you sorry. And your universal indicator is something जो उस तरीके से बताता है क्या बोलते हैं सर? By its color change, it's a cocktail of different indicators जो अलग अलग pH पे change करता है. So we'll talk about two indicators directly. One is called methyl orange or methyl orange. And the other is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. They have different colors in an acid and in alkalis. Now, methyl orange is red in an acid and yellow in an alkali. Phenolphthalein is colorless in an acid universal indicator is a cocktail of different indicators. तो उनका उस समय ऐसे खास रेशो में बनाया होता है कि हर कलर से आप एसोसिएट पीएच कर लें. ठीक है? So these are two indicators which more or less will be useful if you guys know. ठीक है? I hate the quality of this. चमाड़ होने लग जाता. ठीक है? Does that make sense? Nothing special. So and अच्छा indicators में ये है ऐसा color change नहीं होता. Alkaline solution में foreign color change. Acidic solution में foreign it'll be the color that's shown. Right? Okay. Can I move on? Colorless and pink for phenolphthalein, methyl orange. It's a good idea to remember these colors, I think. ठीक है? Okay. Once that's done, done and dusted. Done and dusted. Huh? Yeah. Red, yellow, colorless pink. ठीक है? Moving on. ठीक है? Okay. All right. Here's a challenge for you guys. I have a beaker of an acid. The acid की शिनाख्त is hydrochloric acid, concentration unknown. The volume in the beaker of this acid and that concentration is 100 centimeter cube. My goal is to identify this acid. The concentration exactly, figure out the concentration of this acid. How can one achieve such a task? Huh? Hydrochloric is a gas. Like you can collect it, and that's a smart way, but that probably could work maybe for something. Any other ways? Ahmed Raza is suggesting distillation, which could work. Concentration identify करनी है hydrochloric acid के इस beaker में. कितनी concentration का acid? Gas. It's aqueous. Or evaporation. Like it doesn't work like that. Okay, the chapter is related to acid and bases, so not separation techniques. Here's my hand. Hydrochloric acid aqueous is dissolved. Hydrochloric acid. सोच सकते हैं कैसे?
पानी को फिर चीज से रिएक्ट करेंगे।
किसमें ये देखो, एक चीज है जो इंडिकेटर को भी तंग करती है, एसिड को भी तंग करती है, क्या है वो चीज? इट्स इन द चैप्टर का नहीं? या alkali, right? Alkali bothers it. So what I do is before I set to figure out hydrochloric acid का कितना है, I focus my concentration on some safety measures. One is that I use a pipette to extract exactly 25 centimeter cube of acid, and I pour it into a conical flask. ठीक है, I extracted it 25 centimeter cube. Can someone tell me why I did this? Not really obvious for anything. Multiple reasons. Why do you think are some of the reasons? Very practical reasons. कम होगा तो आसान होगा, exactly. और बोलिए, ज़्यादा एसिड गिर गया तो ज़्यादा डैमेज होगा, तो मैंने कम दे दिया. And the most important one is, experiment खराब हो गया एक बार, तो सारा मेरा एसिड खराब नहीं हो गया. If I spill the acid, if I only take 25 centimeter cube of it, I still have 75 centimeter cube left. I can perform 3 more experiments if one goes bad, just in case. So yeah, make sense to everyone? Multiple reasons: safety, practicality, and whatever. But the standard is 25 centimeter cube. Why 25 centimeter cube? A pipette is 25 centimeter cube. It's just easier to work with that much amount. It is what it is. आप हमेशा एक ग्लास पानी क्यों पीते हैं? It's just हो जाता है यार, 250 में दिल भर जाता है. It's easy to carry. ठंडा भी आसानी से हो जाता है, whatever. It's just practical. Same reason why pipette is 25 centimeter cube. That amount of liquid is just practical. It's not too little, not too much. You take a pipette, you dip it in the acid, you extract 25 centimeter cube, throw it in a flask. Now you have hydrochloric acid over here. Same thing. Its concentration is unknown. You take this, you put it over here. Now I'm showing the acid is green. Most acids and alkalis are just colorless. They look like water. कोई फर्क नहीं होता. They don't smell or taste, or they taste bad, but you'll be dead before, like acid for if you drink it. But they're all colorless. I'm just showing it green because it's an acid. Okay. It's probably a bad thing, so I'll just remove it at this point. It looked pretty otherwise. Okay, this is my acid. I take a burette. Do you guys know what a burette is? Italian for boot? Huh? Well, it doesn't really measure it. It can measure it, sure. So it's like two birds, one stone sort of thing. The amount you use is the amount you automatically measure as well. You fill it up to 0. So it has a capacity of 50 centimeter cube. And you fill it up with this special liquid called NaOH. At a known concentration. Let's say this is exactly at 0.1 moles per decimeter cube. Okay. What I also do is I take my phenolphthalein, right? And just one drop. I drop it in here. क्या हो जाएगा एसिड को? Because it's colorless in an acid. So, end में पिक. Okay. आगे क्या? अभी क्या होगा? Colorless, huh? Everyone following so far? People are online. I take an indicator and I drop it. The color is still colorless. Nothing changed. It's a very useless effort on my part. Why did I do it? No one knows. But I dropped one drop of indicator. अब मैं क्या करूँगा? I'll open this tap. Drop by drop, the base starts pouring. नीचे reaction होनी शुरू हो गया, neutralization. अब सारा तो एक वक्त नहीं हो रहा क्योंकि मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा करके डाल रहा हूँ, right? What I'll notice a few things while this is happening. If I let this run और यहाँ पे ये धार उसकी गिर रही है acid alkali की like that, you see like bubbles and whatever disturbance in the surface आपको दिख रहा होता है. You'll notice all of this is pink and the rest is whatever, and if you stop it and shake your glass, it disappears. Why do you think it is pink in this region? क्योंकि यहाँ पे also concentration is higher over here. The pH is greater than 7 where the concentration, क्योंकि यहीं पे गिरा है ना, तो इस एरिया में अभी डिफ्यूजन होने का टाइम नहीं, जैसे कांटेक्ट हुआ पिंक हो गया, but then you stop it for a little bit, colorless हो गया, because overall there's more acid than the alkali, so वो neutralize हो जाता है, salt and water बन जाता है, and there's acid left. So the equation for the reaction was going on in the conical flask right now is hydrochloric acid reacting with sodium hydroxide to produce sodium chloride, salt, and water. Let's say in our particular example, you had 100 molecules of acid present. और पहले आपके 0 थे, so nothing happened. फिर आपने जो है 10 centimeter cube, 10 molecules of NaOH डाल दिए. They'll react with the acid and produce 10 molecules of NaCl, right? If they react, acid कितना बच गया? 90, क्योंकि 10 react हो गया, 10 में से 10 react हो गया, right? Then you take it up to 20, कितना react हो गया? 20 more, so 80 बच गया. 30, 70, and you take it up when they're, जब यहाँ पे 90, sorry, not 90, यहाँ पे 10 बच गया when it was 90, and यहाँ पे 0 बच गया when this became 100. The solution has been predominantly been acidic, so the color was colorless because the indicator in it is colorless. यहाँ पे it's completely neutral. So the color is going to be again colorless because neutral solution mein phenolphthalein probably changes its pH somewhere close to the neutral point, but not exactly at the neutral point, but over. Okay. Now what do? You add one more molecule of sodium hydroxide. You have 001, आपने add किया, and यहाँ पे still 0 है. So that extra one molecule, what does it do? Makes the entire solution alkaline. And the pH is now greater than 7. यहाँ पे pH was equal to 7. यहाँ पे pH was less than 7. Yes? What's going to happen to the color of the solution? Up in this region. It's going to be pink. Isn't it? What do you think, Aman? Salt to hai. But now I didn't put 100 molecules of it. I put 101 molecules. यहाँ पे completely neutral है. क्या?
Sodium hydroxide.
No, indicator डाला हुआ. Solution is alkaline now. Do you agree? Because there's just more alkali and no acid left. And phenolphthalein डाला हुआ अंदर, which was colorless before. Now it's pink because आपने alkali बढ़ा दिया. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? Hayden, are you getting it? Saad, Sahib, Ashwin, what do you think? Any questions so far? What do y'all think? Getting it? Is this clear? Fahad, how about you? समझ आ रहा है?
ये reduce क्यों हो रहा है?
Yes.
दोबारा बोले,
ये रिड्यूस जो pH लेवल कम हो रहा है,
pH level बढ़ रहा है because it's becoming from more acidic to less acidic, क्योंकि pH जिस समय काम करता है, pH 7 यहाँ पे है और आपका HCl यहाँ पे है और आपका NaOH यहाँ पे है। आप इस एसिड में NaOH डाल रहे हैं, तो यहाँ पे एसिड था, आप उसकी कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कम कर रहे हैं ना रिएक्ट कर करके, तो इस तरफ जा रहा है, वो 7 पे आके पहुंच गया, 7 पे न्यूट्रल हो गया। As soon as it's slightly more than 7, right here, the color of the indicator goes pink. Once it goes pink, you're like, alkali is more than the acid, for sure. Make sense to everyone?
yes.
Bob, any follow-up question? ठीक है, so this is how an indicator behaves. Let's go back to our original experiment. यहाँ पे I kept pouring it, and exactly, let's say exactly for now, exactly at 27 centimeter cube, exactly at 27 centimeter cube, the solution of the entire solution का color pink हो गया. At 26.99 centimeter cube, it was still colorless. At extra 0.01 turned it to pink. So meaning 26.99 it was balanced, more or less, but 27 is slightly exceeding the NaOH. इतना आपका acid है, आप alkalis में डाल रहे हैं, it's colorless, बढ़ता जा रहा है, balanced, still colorless. But the next drop is slightly alkaline, and it's pink. पूरा solution pink हो गया. ठीक है. If I want to know how many moles of NaOH went into the flask, the conical flask, can I figure that out? How? I know its concentration. I know its volume. So the amount of NaOH, moles of NaOH used was C equals to N over V. C was my 0.1. N is my unknown. V is 0.027. N comes out to be 0.0027. That's a 0 moles. This is the exact number of moles with a very little margin of error that went into the conical flask. Where is this going? Who can go one step further and tell me what's next? Where is this going? Remember, our original goal was to calculate the. आप equation से check करें. आप equation से check करें. आप equation लिखें और देखें क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे. HCl तो आपका unknown है. HCl is unknown, but you just calculated the exact moles of NaOH that titrated or reacted completely with hydrochloric acid. Thora margin of error hai, but that margin of error, trust me when I say this, is negligible. This is one of the more accurate experiments you can do in a high school lab. How many moles of hydrochloric acid were present in that conical flask? Same. Emma says same. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree? Fahad, what about you? Welcome, Ayla. You're a bit late.
Yes, I'm sorry. I joined bio. गलती से.
Okay, no problem. ठीक है. All right. Rafael, you're late. Sir, same kya? Fahad, you were there when I started the class. Oh, but you joined bio. Okay, whatever. ठीक है. Ayla, were you following? Hi.
नहीं ये मुझे अभी का समझ नहीं आ रहा.
Okay. ठीक है. Brandon, what do you think? Okay, they're the same. All right. ठीक है. Father agrees. Brandon, how about you? Naki Sahab, what do you think? Rafael? Okay, ask everyone to unmute.
जी सर.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go. Tiny. Oh, that's a punishment. Yeah. ठीक है, everyone following? It's fine. क्या करें? बोलना चाहिए. Like मुझे extra break दे भाई. All right. NaOH is 0.0027, so that means hydrochloric acid right now is 0.0027 moles with very little margin of error. If I know the moles of hydrochloric acid and I know 25 centimeter cube of the acid मैंने उठाया था, so I can figure out the concentration of this acid now. I'm doing something wrong. No, ये क्या लिख दिया मैंने? The moles for this are 0.0027 and the volume used is 25, not 0.1. 0.00, no, 0.025. And I think you get 0.108 moles per decimeter cube. ठीक है? Huh? ठीक है? Are you guys getting this value as well? Is it correct or no? Let's see how good my mental math is. I'm just showing off the previous class did this calculation. 40 into? Oh, that makes sense. That's smart. Yeah, nice. Okay, so Ahmed agrees. Ahmed said something really smart. He said just multiply it by 40 and divide it by 100. Yeah. 1 over 40 with 0.025. You just multiply it by 40 and you get the correct answer. Okay. So I go back to my original question. The concentration of this acid is 0.108 moles per decimeter cube. Itna lamba, right? Just to do this. Itni badi cup humne pali to figure out the concentration. Huh? 1:1 ratio होना चाहिए. They only distribute होंगे, they dissolve, so they'll naturally. वो तो डालते वक्त था. ये shake it a bit. डालते वक्त जब गिर रहा होता है ना, तो it looks pink. I'll show you a titration.
जैसे 25 सेंटीमीटर की मदद करेंगे तो सकते हैं HCl थोड़ा सा जैसे HCl की concentration थोड़ी बढ़ गई है HCl
कैसे बढ़ जाएगी? अच्छा, mixture फिर evenly distributed. Mixture है ना, diffusion, laws of diffusion. Settle भी नहीं होगा, आप 100 साल पड़ा रहने दें, it won't separate because it dissolves in it. जैसे नमक का नमकीन पानी होता है, unless you add too much salt to it तो नीचे बढ़ जाता है, वरना it doesn't undissolve. It stays dissolved. The concentration all over remains the same. ठीक है? Does that make sense to everyone? Do you guys know what this is called? This is called titration. We just performed our first titration calculation. Pros. Right? This is a titration. All right. Make sense? Yeah? I don't know, but I'll give you some videos to watch and some more. Yeah, or like questions to solve out of that. But what basic over, straightforward, nothing too challenging, I hope. Okay.
So we see the scientific order in classical
Yeah.
scientific order, intra-cerebral,
हाँ.
cerebral.
सीरियल तो अब पिछला हफ्ते बंद था because कोरोना केस था वहाँ पे. हाँ.
Online is शायद cerebral school का allow है.
A science competition.
Online है मतलब
Science competition. Online.
लेकिन ये
Okay.
science student रेडियो.
Okay. You guys understand what a titration is? A titration is you're trying to figure out the concentration of something. Can be anything, not just an acid. You can use and figure out the purity of calcium carbonate by titrating it with an acid.
So you can do carbonates neutral.
हाँ, but acid के साथ react करता है ना, so you can figure out कितना react कर रहा है just by.
कोई भी 100% neutral तो नहीं होती.
हाँ?
कोई भी 100% neutral तो नहीं होती.
पानी 100% neutral.
फिर carbonate.
Carbonate is not acidic or alkaline. Alkaline means something that produces OH ions. Acid is something that produces H plus ions. So carbonate with a not H and not OH. It's neither. It's like saying metal is acidic or low.
Metal नहीं होता.
Huh?
Metal भी नहीं होता acidic.
Metal is also not कुछ भी नहीं है metal unless it bonds with something. Like NaOH turns into an alkali.
So no parts metal or alkali metals.
Because their compounds are alkaline and their compounds are oxides, yeah, hydroxides. That's why they're called alkaline earth metals. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll Google it. Okay, let's do another titration. H2SO. Yeah, I can't write anymore. Shouldn't be writing. H2SO4 reacts with NaOH to form NaSO4, Na2SO4 plus H2O. We did the same experiment. Acid की हमें इसकी concentration निकालनी है. This is our unknown. ठीक है? And I also used 25 centimeter cube of this, like I used hydrochloric acid. Exact same experiment, just different acid this time. ठीक है? NaOH, I used a different one as well. I used 0.5 centimeter cube or moles per decimeter cube concentration का acid. And its volume is going to be, when I did it, let's make it exactly 25 centimeter cube was used. So the question is, what is my concentration of sulfuric acid if it was completely titered with NaOH of concentration 0.5 moles per decimeter cube of, 25 centimeter cube of 0.5 moles per decimeter cube of NaOH. Is it possible to figure out the concentration of sulfuric acid right now? Welcome back, Eden. Our question is to find the concentration of sulfuric acid. If it was, it's fine, it's fine. Try doing this question if you can. If you don't understand, ask your question. I'll try to phrase it again. But essentially, we're trying to find the concentration, given the fact that this amount of NaOH written in yellow completely neutralized the sulfuric acid. I think I can just do this without even, just by looking at it. What do you think, Amit? Can you just look at it and tell me what the concentration should be? You're right. But can you just look at it and tell me the concentration? I should remove all of this. The volume is the same, isn't it? So it has to be in the same ratio.
Why do you say anything about the value of our concentration?
Half of it. Because you need half the amount of acid. Yes, you can. 1 chammach acid will neutralize 2 chammach of NaOH. Just by looking at it. Yeah. I'm just waiting for everyone else to do it. तुम्हारी हर क्लास में ब्रेक चल रही होती है या जिस केमिस्ट्री में होती है टॉयलेट ब्रेक You were gone for 15 minutes probably. 15 minutes sama kya tha? Probably 15 minutes, yeah. You missed like half the class. Yeah, like I understand. I was in grade 11 as well. I understand kya ho raha hai. I'm just kya ho raha hai? Yeah, I had bathroom for 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. Challenging. Does anyone have an answer? Or anyone confused as to what to do? Brandon, what do you think? Ashwin, what do you think? Huh? It's a very easy question. Concentration of sulfuric acid निकालना है जब NaOH की concentration दे दी है और volume दिया हुआ है. Volume of sulfuric acid भी दिया हुआ है. और हमें इसका concentration निकालना है. Barabing, barabum, barabing, barabum. Barabing, barabum. Barabing, barabum. Barabing, barabum. Whose fault is that? All right, anyone? Ashwin, do you have an answer? No? Brandon? Naki? Hayden, what do you think?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I calculate the moles kitne use hua hai in sulfur in 3? No. It's 0.25. ठीक है. So let me make a line here. NaOH, can I figure out the moles of NaOH used? So I'll do that, and it's just going to be moles are equal to concentration times volume, which is 0.5 times 0.025. Am I right? Yes. I'm talking here. I'm finishing the class. He did the question. Yeah. 25 centimeter cube. ठीक है. And this is gonna come out to be, I don't know, क्या आएगा? बताइए आप. Do you know? You have your phone? This is coming out to what, people? 0.5. Actually, ये तो obvious है ना, half of 0.025. 0.0125. ठीक है. Now the ratio between sulfuric acid and NaOH is what? For every 1 mole of this, 2 NaOH, it can react with 2 NaOH. If it's not too clear. So if this is 2, this has to be 1. If this is 1, this is 0.5. If this is 0.0125, this is half of that, which is going to be half of that, 0.00725, I don't know. 0.5 times 0.025 times 0.5 again. 625. 0.00625 moles. These are the moles present in sulfuric acid. Because I figured out the moles of NaOH, then I halved it because the ratio के बीच में 1:2 है. So it has to be half the moles. इतने moles से sulfuric acid के, that's why it got titrated with these many moles of NaOH. So these are the moles. Can I figure out the concentration right now? Well, the total volume is 25 centimeter cube. Concentration is just going to be 0.00625. Divide that by 0.025. Everything should be in decimeter cube. This comes out to, should come out to 0.25. Divide this by 0.025. This does indeed come out to be 0.25 mole per decimeter cube. We shall reconvene on Thursday. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Take care.